Hi, my name is Shiva Prasad. I am responsible for configuration and compliance management in Enterprise Manager. Welcome to this session about continuous security compliance assessment for Oracle databases, proactive hardening, and continuous protection with Enterprise Manager. Oracle Enterprise Manager's Database Lifecycle Management Pack, known as DBLM, streamlines database management through automation at every key stage. This includes database provisioning, patching, and upgrades, which simplifies and accelerates deployment and maintenance. Ensure consistency and control over database setups by configuration management. Automates critical processes for seamless operations through change management, backup, and recovery. Enhances database performance with built-in tools by performance monitoring and tuning. Maintains security and policy adherence by compliance management. We will dive into configuration and compliance management within DBLM. This aspect helps streamline the lifecycle, reduces vulnerabilities, and minimizes potential breaches, ensuring secure and efficient database environments. Bad actors have many ways to steal customer data. Data breach reports show that over 45% of breaches come from misconfiguration or insecure settings. These weak points are easy targets for attackers to exploit and access sensitive data. Another major risk is taking over accounts with high administrative privileges. Privileged credentials are abused in about 74% of incidents. Without enforcing least privilege principles for users, the risk of breaches increases. With the rise in breaches, enterprises are boosting effort to address cybersecurity and compliance. Gartner's 2023 Top 10 IT Risk Assessment Priorities list cybersecurity and compliance as the top concerns. Breaches can cause business disruptions, hurt reputation, lead to penalties, and damage customer trust. Comparison benefits for customers. Establish a baseline aligned with security policies. Exclude certain attributes when defining parameters. Monitor and track any deviations from the baseline. Alert key personnel when differences are identified. Let's look at this example. Consider the parameters listed in the table. Assume these are important parameters with defined values. Auditing is enabled for your database. Associate this definition with your databases and drift monitoring begins immediately. A few days later, if a DBA changes the DB block size, you will see this drift in your dashboard. This change could be intentional or accidental, but you will know who made it. You can choose auto remediation or handle it manually. Out-of-box standards in Enterprise Manager for databases includes CAS benchmarks, DISA STIG, and Oracle's own security best practices. PCI DSS, HIPAA, and STIG for Linux hosts, and allows importing any XCCDF-based standards. Exadata Engineering System provides standards for both on-premises Exadata and Exadata Cloud. Key takeaway here, securing your Oracle database is essential, but securing the entire infrastructure is just as critical. By protecting the full stack, you gain a unified view of security compliance across all targets managed by Enterprise Manager. This provides detailed reports for both internal and external auditors to ensure adherence to security policies. Oracle Enterprise Manager, known as EM, offers comprehensive support for database security compliance across various Oracle database versions and configurations. EM provides out-of-box support for the Center for Internet Security, known as CIS, benchmarks for Oracle database version 12c and 19c. This support extends to all database target types, including single instance, cluster, and multi-tenant configurations. EM supports Security Technical Implementation Guide, known as STIG, standards published by US Department of Defense. These standards are available for Oracle database version 11G to 19C. In addition to external standards, EM incorporates Oracle's own set of security best practices and recommendations, providing a robust framework for database security. Each of these standards include a comprehensive set of compliance checks, covering various components of the database, such as initialization parameters and user privileges. EM allows for customization of these rules to align with your organization's specific security policies. You can modify existing rules or create new ones tailored to your requirements. CES Benchmark offers comprehensive configuration coverage for Oracle databases. The coverage includes Oracle database installation and patching requirements, parameter settings, database connection and login restrictions, user access and authorization restrictions, audit policies and procedures. Each area features through compliance checks. Let's look at this example. Ensure certain users have broader privileges while others have restricted access to specific database components like tables, packages, and other objects. This helps to maintain a secure and controlled database environment. Let's look at this use case. Oracle recommends for user accounts and privileges. Grant only necessary privilege to database users or roles. Restrict powerful privileges like create any job, become user, export full database, and import full database. Only authorized users should have these privileges. CAS benchmark checks ensures user access and authorization restrictions, sets controls to block unauthorized usage by limiting user capabilities, includes checks for revoking system, object, role, and table or view privileges. Example, sys.eod $table contains all audit records. This CIS check revoke excessive table and view privileges ensure unauthorized users don't have access for sys.eod $table. Unauthorized access to this table risks audit record modifications and hidden activities. Benchmark provides SQL statements and remediation steps to secure tables like history $table or user $table. CAS categorizes roles into three implementation groups: IG1, IG2, and IG3. IG1 is a basic cyber hygiene, foundational safeguards, controls for auditing, detecting login attempts, and revoking execute on packages from public. IG2 builds on IG1 with advanced safeguards, includes controls like preventing remote OS authentication for DBAs. IG3 highest security level, which is unique controls for data security. For example, revoking execute from public on DBMS credential package. ExaCheck security and compliance features. Comprehensive check for secure databases, servers, and infrastructure. Proactive issue detection, which helps and identifies security vulnerabilities and performance risks. Lightweight and continuous compliance checks through non-intrusive monitoring. Validates configuration for seamless scaling and high availability. Keeps Exadata environment secure, efficient, and future ready. Risk management and audit. Automated fleet level risk assessments are available. Audit for compliance policies. Let's look at operational efficiencies. Without EM, manual command line checks and remediations for each target is overwhelming and time consuming. With EM, automatic ExaCheck runs every 24 hours with auto remediations for violations. Let's look at the user experience. EM supports ExaCheck for all Exadata components, and as well as the environment consists of on-premises, ExaCC, and ExaCS. One tool provides consistent compliance across all variants, fully automated. Comprehensive fleet-level health checks. EM automates health checks across on-premises and cloud Exadata, aligning with AHF ExaCheck standards. Compliance standards for each infrastructure component are included, with an umbrella standard covering the entire system. With one click, manage compliance for your entire Exadata system. Let's take a deep dive into a demo. Assess compliance posture with CAS benchmark version 1.2.0. In this demo, I will introduce you to how we leverage the Center for Internet Security, known as CAS, for pluggable Oracle Database 19c traditional standard version 1.2.0. This standard helps organizations to configure their database securely, maintain consistency, and meet regulatory requirements effectively and risk mitigation. Let's log in with the user credential system. As you may know, compliance and security are top priorities for any organization handling critical data and business operations. Center for Internet Security Compliance, known as CIS, controls are effective because they are derived from most common attack patterns highlighted in the leading threat reports and vetted across very broad community of government and industry practitioners. Click on Enterprise Compliance Dashboard. This dashboard provides an overview of critical issues and compliance scores, allowing database administrators to identify non-compliance standards in databases and to take corrective actions to ensure adherence to compliance frameworks. It shows number of targets evaluated, violations and errors represented through pie chart, with color critical, warning, and minor warning with 0 errors. Open security incidents are none. Compliance standard score distribution for these targets is in the percentile of 80 to 99%. The second tile represents compliance violations by target type for the pluggable database, represents through the color coded bar graph with critical, warning, and minor warning. The compliance summary, which gives number of standards results in a high level based on the compliance targets, non-compliant targets. The number of violations are classified as a critical, warning, and minor warning, and it has a compliance score which is represented here. Similarly, the targets tab has number of targets which the compliance standards has been associated. Let's click on Enterprise Compliance Library. This is Oracle Enterprise Compliance Library. A compliance framework is a hierarchical structure which target can be mapped to one or more compliance standards. Compliance Standard tab on displays out-of-the-box standards and as well as custom compliance standards that assess and enforce policies across database targets, ensuring adherence. Compliance standard rule, which comes up with out-of-the-box compliance rules, which you can use as is. If you wish, you can customize them. Let's search, select CIS, description 19C, applicable to pluggable database, click search. This refined view of compliance library in Oracle Enterprise Manager displays specific CAS compliance 1.2.0, traditional and unified auditing for pluggable databases. Let's choose Oracle 19C CAS traditional auditing for pluggable database. Click associate targets. Let's add pluggable databases. Let's choose PDB 62 and 63. Click select. Evaluation status is enabled. Click OK. Let's save the association. The compliance standard submitted for target for processing. Click OK. Then let's go back and check the status, which is successfully done. Click cancel. Let's go to Enterprise Compliance Dashboard. Here we can see the compliance summary result for CAS 1.2.0 traditional one. Let's click on non-compliant targets, where you see two targets, PDB 62 and PDB 63, with a compliance score of 44 and 61 percentile respectively. Let's close this. Let's click on critical violations. Critical violations you can see for both pluggable database 63 and 62. Let's click on PDB 63. In detail, this violation you can see the user ID X1 has a default profile that needs to be remediated. So the default profile has to be revoked and make sure it has an appropriate profile added to it. Similarly, PDB62 has its own set of violations as shown here. Let's close this. Let's go and CIS 1.2.0 compliance results in detail. This compliance results, as you see, the target scorecard again represented by a pie chart, like 50% is warning and 50% is critical violations. And rule evaluations also is distributed across compliant, critical warning, and minor warning and error represented in color. Trend overview. This is where you see the four graphs. Three graphs are line graphs, which represents average compliance score, average violation count per target, and targets evaluated for the period of a day, week, and month, and the number of targets by compliance score represented through bar graph. Here, again for the time range. Let's click on violations, where you see all the violations for both PDB62 and PDB63. Let's choose select any dictionary revoked from unauthorized user. So we can granularly look into particular rule here. So similarly, let's go back and click on violations. Here we can have breakdown of violations per pluggable databases as shown here. Close it. And same with the similarly for PDB63. And let's explore here, as you see, the number of rules violated, and our focus is going to be on select any dictionary from unauthorized grantee. And as you can see, PDB 62 and 63 has violations, one each. The violation events for select any dictionary for grantee ADX1. So the Oracle database select any dictionary privilege allows the designated user to access sys schema object. Unauthorized grantees should not have that privilege. So in this case, ADX1 has that. Select any dictionary privilege which allows a user to query any data dictionary table or view in the database. A violation occurs when unauthorized users exploit this privilege to access sensitive metadata, potentially breach the database. The rule details are given here, so we have to revoke select any dictionary from the grantee here, in this case IDX1. Let's go to Enterprise Manager to set up corrective actions. Select monitoring, click corrective actions. Let's create a corrective action. Let's give the name corrective action unauthorized grantee for select any dictionary. Let's choose compliance standard rule violation. This is how we can revoke select any dictionary from this grantee ADX1. So the credential we have to give sysdba credential for this violation and database host credentials. Let's go and save it. Save to the library. And here in the draft status, we have to publish this corrective action. Once we publish it, click yes, you can see this corrective action is published. Let's go set up incident rules. This is where we create an incident rule set. Create a rule set, and let's give incident rule name. And we have to tie the groups, the host, and as well as pluggable database. And let's create a rule for the incoming events. Let's add the pluggable database agent side rule. So let's choose select any dictionary, click search, and we choose these rules. Click OK, click next. Let's add the corrective action here. Let's choose selective corrective action, the one which we set it up. Click OK, continue, click next, and let's name this as a rule incident corrective action. Click next, continue, and once this has been set up, as you see, incident authorized grantee has been set up. Enterprise, compliance, results, where you can see the number of violations is reduced to 116. Let's look at each individual. Let's check on this select any dictionary violation. As you see, the violation is reduced from 1 to 0. Let's click on Enterprise, Compliance, Dashboard, where you can see the compliance standard summary results. The critical violations to 116. Let's look at the reports. This report represents comprehensive compliance evaluation report for both pluggable databases. And you can see the evaluation details with fail and pass. This is where you can see the result details for each rule, whether each rule is pass or fail for this pluggable database PDB62. Similarly, you can drill down into each individual rule to see the results and as well as the rationale behind it. And the same way for the other pluggable database PDB63, you can see the evaluation results. Drill down into each individual rule. This concludes this demo. As we look ahead, Oracle Enterprise Manager is set to support forthcoming security compliance standards. DBSAT 3.1 will now include support for single instance, rack, and multi-tenant environments, along with the updated CAS Oracle Database 19C benchmark version 1.2.0 next. Oracle Database STIG will be enhanced with version 3 release 2 for improved database security. Oracle Linux 9 compliance will align with SCAP-based standards, including key profiles such as NIST, STIG, PCI DSS, and standard security. Thanks for joining our session today. For more information about Oracle Enterprise Manager, check out the resources listed here. Thank you again.